All right. Well, first of all, I'll just say that my sense is that in both Social Security and Medicare, you ought to do what's been done in hundreds, thousands of businesses, governments elsewhere in the country, and that is when you have a system that's served well, but it's not actuarially sound anymore, it won't work. Right? There's not enough of you to pay for as many of us as are soon going to be claiming dollars, huge dollars out of the present system. Everybody got that, right? Okay. So, you know, what you don't do is renege or change the terms of the deal for people who are now or soon to be collecting and who have counted on that. You tell them you're good to go, deal's a deal. We're going to start a new program, Medicare 2.0, Social Security 2.0, that will work with the demography and the economy of the next century. And that's been done in businesses all over the place. There's all kinds of places that have an old plan and a new plan, and that's just what you do. I think that's perfectly fair. And by the way, it's the only way that works. You asked me about AARP. You know, it's going to dawn on people pretty soon. I hope it'll dawn on you if it hasn't already. The biggest enemies of Social Security and Medicare are the people like that who are saying, no problem, keep it like it is. They're going to blow up and they're going to take our economy and the future prospects, maybe not for Georgetown and GW and AU and graduates, but maybe. But for a lot of people who, your age, who didn't make it into these schools, and but they deserve a great chance in life. Anyway, so those of us who are advocate for change here are trying to save the safety net, and it's a very cynical business, really. You know, here's the troublesome thing to me. I mean, honest people can differ about these things, and there may be better approaches to fixing it than the ones that make sense to me. If so, let's hear them. But Social Security in particular was founded in this conscious knowledge that it relied, as Mr. Ponzi's famous scheme did, on more people coming in all the time to pay for those who collect. And so it's equally certain to those who defend it that it can't work when there are fewer people and fewer people and fewer people paying for each person who's a collector. And I'll tell you that the most bothersome thing to me, you can't fix it this way, but the starting point for these systems is wealthy people should not benefit from it. There's no reason, I always say, why are we sending a pension check to Warren Buffett? Why should you pay taxes so to pay for Bill Gates' health care? There's only one reason we do that. That's not a safety net, it's people own the circus. There's only one reason that they're set up that way. It's a political calculation that you want everybody, you know, at the trough in the system. Or politically it won't have as much support. And I guess that was okay when the system had 40-some people paying for every beneficiary, but it's not okay now. And I also think it shortchanges Americans. I do not believe for a minute that Americans would walk away from helping the elderly avoid destitution, helping the elderly meet their health care bills, just because millionaires, as the president likes to say, millionaires and billionaires didn't collect it. I think more of Americans than that. I think Paul Ryan's one of the great important figures in the country today. Both his heart and his mind are in the right place. And you will not find somebody, you can differ or not with specifics that are in this very detailed description that he's put out there, but I hope you would, even if you do, you would give him credit on a couple of counts. One is that he is motivated by exactly the right concern. He is very alarmed, and you ought to be, that the America we've known, the American promise, again, of upward mobility, a chance for everybody, and each generation being able to advance both the material and the quality of life, material aspects of quality of life beyond the past, is in real trouble. And it's fixable trouble. We've got really one and only one huge problem. There's only one big obstacle, although we've got more. We've got one big obstacle in the way, and that is if we just go broke, it'll undo so much that is great and promising about the economy. So I think he deserves huge credit for that. And related to that, he has the guts to actually lay out a very specific plan that holds water. Now, people can say it's the wrong thing to do, but they can't say he didn't do his homework. And nobody else has done that. Now, the commission that the president commissioned and then haven't paid much attention to since did a similar thing. And they deserve a lot of credit. And I'm very encouraged, by the way, that there's a lot healthier and more realistic discussion going on than there was 6, 9, 12 months ago, and that's progress. Ryan's had a lot to do here. I agree with the general thrust of what he's done there. Now, there's some gaps in it. He didn't talk about Social Security. We have to. It's fixable. If it's fixable in a way that's completely fair, in fact, it immunizes everybody who's in the system today and getting close to there, the point ought to be, don't you deserve to have something waiting for you, at least as a backstop? And so, eventually, that's a piece we'll have to be grappled with. He said nothing about defense spending. Defense spending is national security is the first objective of government. It's the first reason for which governments are created in the first place, to defend the people against enemies, foreign and domestic, as the oath says. And you don't take any chances. That doesn't mean you can't ask the question as the world changes, as other nations change. Doesn't mean you can't ask the question, do we have to do absolutely everything we're doing? Do we have to risk every life we're risking? Do we have to spend every dollar we're spending to keep Americans safe, keep our economy safe? If somebody's got a good case, and no argument. Everything else will have to be fit to that. But it cannot be wrong to ask the question. And I think that's Paul probably would agree, but his plan doesn't deal with it. But in general, right direction, right scale, and it's better than anything else that's out there. My attitude when people ask me the first couple of days about it, I said, well, look, number one, there's a whole lot in that plan that I disagree with. Thank goodness. If I agreed with every word of it, it probably couldn't pass. Same for you, same for you. If we're going to get this thing solved, everybody's going to have to probably go along with something that wouldn't be their first choice. And secondly, I said, if you disagree, the price of admission to the debate ought to be, what's your plan? Let's see something that has as much arithmetic as Paul's. And so predictably, a lot of the usual suspects came out and said a lot of the usual things, threw all the usual rocks, and had nothing of their own.